yatam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ayanati nirandasya jnana shabakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Savaram Jangamam Yatam Yat Kincit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bhavajivyati Yat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvashruti Shiroratna Virajita Padam Bhujaha Vedantam Bhuja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Yomatito Niranjanaha Indunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jnana Shakti Samaruddha Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidayine Atmanyana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sushanam Bhava Sindosha Vyapanam Sarasampadaha Guru Padodakam Samya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapaha Tattvajnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Radhiranadisha Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा. तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा. तेरे चरणों मेरे देवा. तेरे चरणों में फूल चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा गुरुआ 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 स्वामिया 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 ओ तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा 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 मेरा नया पिया से तेरे दर्शन को आके दर्शन दो मेरे देवा मेरे पिया से तेरे दर्शन को मेरे देवा ओ मेरा नया पिया से तेरे दर्शन को आके दर्शन दो मेरे देवा मेरे नए पिया से तेरे दर्शन को आके दर्शन दो मेरे देवा ओ आके दर्शन दो मेरे पर प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे पर प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे गुरु प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे गुरु प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे पर प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे पर प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे गुरु प्रियतम आके दर्शन दो मेरे गुरु प्रियतम तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा 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 गुरुआ 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 स्वामिया 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 ओ गुरुआ 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 स्वामिया 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 तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए देवा तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा गुरुआ 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 स्वामिया 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 गुरुआ 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 स्वामिया 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 गुरुआ 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 स्वामिया 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 तेरे चरणों में फूल बिछाए मेरे देवा 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 ओम अवतार शिशाय नमः ओम विषमाय नमः ओम देवकार्य समुद्यताय नमः ओम सूक्ष्मतनवे नमः ओम चिन्मयाय नमः ओम गुरुमूर्तये नमः ओम सुंदराय नमः ओम सुलोचनाय नमः ओम सुमुखाय नमः ओम चौरहसाय नमः ओम केशवाय नमः ओम पद्मभुजाय नमः ओम मंदगमनाय नमः ओम चरमवरधरिणे नमः ओम रामाय नमः ओम मंदिरस्थपकाय नमः ओम श्रीभवर्चकाय नमः ओम गायत्र्यज्वने नमः ओम अर्पण स्वीकारकाय नमः ओम विष्णुपूजकाय नमः ओम नमो नारायणाय मंत्रोपासकाय नमः ओम स्वरमयाय नमः ओम मधुरकंठाय नमः ओम कृष्ण संकीर्तन रूपाय नमः ओम स्तोत्रप्रियाय नमः ओम मितवर्षिणे नमः ओम वाग्मिने नमः ओम चित्रकलाविशारदाय नमः ओम व्रतधराय नमः ओम सदवे नमः ओम जगत्पन्थाय नमः ओम सर्वलोकहिताय नमः ओम भक्तप्रियाय नमः ओम सुरताय नमः ओम अनुकूलाय नमः ओम नेयाय नमः ओम सुदर्शनाय नमः ओम भक्तवत्सलाय नमः ओम प्रेममूर्तये नमः ओम सुलक्षणाय नमः ओम प्रीतिवर्धनाय नमः ओम स्वस्तिदायकाय नमः ओम तारकाय नमः ओम अनुग्रहाय नमः ओम वर्धनाय नमः ओम अर्चिताय नमः ओम अर्थाय नमः ओम सिद्धिप्रदाय नमः ओम जनार्दनाय नमः ओम मनोहराय नमः ओम अक्षाय नमः ओम सिद्धेश्वराय नमः ओम भस्मभूषिताय नमः ओम आत्मलिंगाय नमः ओम निगर्शन प्रसाकाय नमः ओम सिद्धिसदनाय नमः ओम माधवाय नमः ओम ओंकारोपासकाय नमः ओम सूक्ष्माय नमः ओम विश्वकाय नमः ओम सात्विकाय नमः ओम समदक्षिणे नमः ओम दक्षाय नमः ओम अचिन्त्याय नमः ओम निरंकाराय नमः ओम निर्मोहाय नमः ओम अव्यग्राय नमः ओम चित्तक्रोधाय नमः ओम विनायशीलाय नमः ओम स्ववशाय नमः ओम कुशलाय नमः ओम क्षमाय नमः ओम सत्यधर्माय नमः ओम निर्विकल्पाय नमः ओम विरक्ताय नमः ओम अतीन्द्राय नमः ओम सत्यसंधाय नमः ओम पवित्राय नमः ओम मधुरस्वभावाय नमः ओम सुरनंदाय नमः ओम नंदनाय नमः Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaye Namaha, Om Samyaye Namaha, Om Guyaye Namaha, Om Vimutatmaye Namaha, Om Gaviraye Namaha, Om Guptaye Namaha, Om Atmanamaye Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Vitidaraye Namaha, Om Danyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaye Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harishana Margadashakaya Namaha, Om Kutasha Jagatrakaya Namaha, Om Aviprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikatava Vardakaya Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Ato Deva Avantuno Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pririvya Santa Damapi Yedam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredan Nade Padam Samudamasya Bhagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Ada Abhya Tato Dharmani Daryene Vishnu Karmani Pashyata To Vritani Pashpase Indrase Yujasaka Tat Vishnu Paramam Paragum Sada Pashanti Surya Yireva Chakshuratatam Tat Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagrivagum Sasamindate Vishnuya Paramam Param. Premavataraaya Dhimahi Satgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavataraaya Dhimahi Satgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Premavataraaya Vidmahe Satgurudevaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayat. Govinda Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Na Prachodayat.
Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketabare Narayana Chuta Trivikrama Chakrapane Devyadishaja Darashidara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Rukmini Sabhavana Share Murare Radesha Gopesha Surupa Brahmadi Vandya Shri Dwarakashaya Vaikuntapate Bhuvaneka-murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Ninakrite Kamatarupa Varamurte Devi Kramaya Guhane Prayurama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalkirupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Paraparesha Damodara Vyadarananda Kadarishori Gopa Gopi Jana Samrita Dina Bando Gopi Jana Priya Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shri Radhishaim Bhujagadi Patapashaye Sarvakarit Sadakashayim Ramakashayim Shri Gopa Bhama Murdatarpa Sukadishayim Gopa Vallabharaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Kashyapatri Sukanarada Gautamadi Brahmashi Sangamani Sangha Bhavaratesho Tishtanti Deva Tava Darshana Bhagareto Gopala Shekharaye Tava Suprabhatam Mandara Jadi Tulasidara Malikadyaye Maryani Anjali Bhute Samudaranti Tishtanti Tvarbhavatadara Tale Munindra Radha Manoharaye Tava Suprabhatam Veda Trayam Patati Gautamagana Guya Gayanti Sadguna Gano Varadasha Varga Sankirtayanti Tavanama Kada Vishesha Shri Naradadi Rishaya Tava Suprabhatam Govardhano Dharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Sudesha Bhavati Bhota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukminisha Varada Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vatsachina Saranagata Parijata Bhaktati Banjana Kripakara Dina Bando Nityanta Yayati Janapriya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Suprabhatam Parmaksha Parmamukha Parmadara Prameya Parmalaya Sharita Parma Nivasa Shori Parmo Bhavati Shura Sevita Pada Parma Parmadhinata Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vidatale Viharanaya Mahendra Vanya Kandarpadarpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupa Chandra Nanaya Sira Chandana Nipadeha Govinda Yadava Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shinanda Nandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayanga Jina Nandachona Supushpahara Niram Buddha Susharira Ramavihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shiva Shijam Bhavati Satya Suganti Vagra Shri Mitra Vinda Divasa Prabhudmi Kadyaye Tishtanti Divya Bhavameta Vasevanardam Gopi Mana Priya Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Achyutananda Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Munayuna Chambaranti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Aharnisham Bhuri Krita Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahetuka.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Satma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Suravira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalayatasham Bharavatam Samasitam Bodhasudarangam Gandharpakotikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kala Zarvana Malya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranaya Kedi Kala Vilasam Chamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Aganiyasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Advaitamachutamanadim Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabha Madurlamamatma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantasukoti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayuradapi Manaso Munipugavanam Sopyasti Yatra Padachinya Vichintya Tatre Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekyopya Saura Jayatum Jagadanda Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagadanda Chaya Yadantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadvama Bhavita Diyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Bhusha Srutiriyameva Nigama Patite Sumanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Raza Pratipavitavis Tabiya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Sukalani Yamena Tishtan Nanavataram Akarut Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Parama Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagannatha Koti Koti Svashesha Vasudadi Vibhuti Vinam Tatramanishkalamanantamasheshabhutam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Maya yasya jagadanda shatani sute Tregunyatat lishaya veda vitayamana Sarva valambi parasattva vishuddha sarvam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Ananda chinmaya satmataya manasho Ya praninam pratipalam smaratam upetya Lila itena bhuvanani jayata jasram Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Golokanamni nijadam nikale chatasya Devi mahesha haridama suteshu teshu Tete prabhava nishaya vichaschayena Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Shishti shiti pralaya sadhana shaktireka Chaye vayasya bhuvanani vivarti durga Vichana rupamapiyasya chatesna desa Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Shiram yatadadidikara vishesha yoga Sanjayate naitata prita asti eto Yasham bhutam avitatatham upeti karyat Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Dipasireva idashatarama vipetya Dipayate vivitayeti samana dharma Yaskajayeva ishavishnataya vibhati Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Yakaranarnava jale bhajati sma yoga Nidramananta jagadanda saroma kupa Adar shakti mavalambya param svamurtin Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Yashvekanishvasita kalamatavalamya Jivanti loma bilaja jalantanata Vishnur mahansariya yasya kala vishesho Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Basvanyatashma shakaleshu nijeshu tejaha Siyam kiyatra katayatyapi tattva atra Brahmaya esha jagadanda vidhana karta Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Yakpadapallavayugam jinidaya kumbha Vadve pranama samaye savanadiraja Vigamyam tumalayasya jagatrayasya Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Agnirma ega ganamambu maruddhishascha Kalastatatma manaziti jagatrayani Yasmat bhavanti vibhavanti vishanti yamcha Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Yasya surisa savita sakalagahanam Raja samasta suramurti ashesha tejaha Yasyapnaya pramati sambrata kala chakro Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Dharmota papa nichayashitayastapansi Brahmadikita patagavadayascha jiva Yattatra matra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Yasindra rupamata mahosnu karma Vandana rupa palabhajana matanoti Karma nirigati kintu shabhati bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadi niti Vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhagahe Sanchintyatasya sadishintamura purete Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Om Agnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmei Shri Guruve Namaha. Jagadev, good morning. So, today's Bhagavatam verse is from Canto 7, Chapter 1, verse 6. Nirgunopi hi ajo vyakto bhagavan prakate paraha svameya gunam avishya bhadya badaktam gataha. The translation is, the Lord Vishnu is always transcendental to material qualities, and therefore he is called nirguna, or without qualities. Because he is unborn, he does not have a material body to be subjected to attachment and hatred. Although the Lord is always above material existence, through his spiritual potency, he appears and acts like an ordinary human being, accepting duties and obligations seemingly like a conditioned soul. So, as is the case almost every time I give satsang, I generally have no idea what I'm going to talk about until close to the last moment. And some inspiration struck me recently. I won't tell you how recently, but recently. Who has received online darshan before? Everybody, I would hope. Yeah, good. Maybe, yeah, good. So if you know online darshan, I'm appointed with the task of hosting the intro to that before Guruji arrives. Yeah. So usually I interview somebody, and last time, when was it? Saturday, I think. Was interviewing Sahadev, and I mentioned, if any of you were there, I mentioned a story about the first time that I received darshan, the very first time I received darshan, almost 10 years ago. In October will be 10 years since that day. Swamini remembers, she was there. Yeah, so I mentioned it and I said, I'm not going to tell that story right now, because I almost never share that story. I think I've shared that story publicly maybe twice in the last 10 years. Maybe. One time I can remember, and maybe a second time I talked about it. So in that online darshan, I said, I'm not going to share that story. And if you really want to know, it's somewhere online, posted. And if you're very clever, you can find it. But today, I decided I'm going to share that story because why not? And it will just be one other place that people can discover. Because to this day, it's, funnily enough, probably the most insane experience Guruji has ever given me, which is very funny because was the first experience of, let's say, miraculous things that he ever did. And I was brand spanking new. And so it was 10 years ago. And so that still remains as one of the most insane experiences I've ever had with him. And so just bear with me because language is very limited and I can definitely not express properly to any degree what it was actually like, but I will try. So, there are many things that led up to this point, many of which I've talked about many times. My father passing away, and which was kind of the catalyst to everything. And I had been traveling. I'd graduated high school. I'd been traveling for 4 months. I was in Toronto with family. Then I was in Chicago with family. Was not planning on meeting an enlightened master. It was not in my plan, if I even understood what that was at all, which I didn't. But somehow, I ended up in this place in Washington, United States, coincidentally, seemingly coincidentally, and it was all very, a lot of stuff had been going on. Had just been, I want to say, just over a year since my dad died. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. I decided I was going to go to Vancouver and try and work at a camera rental. I wanted to be in the film industry, so that was my plan. I just spent the last 2 months with my crazy family members, aunt and uncle, Americans. Well, my aunt is Canadian, but my two teenage, at the time, they were a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, teenage girls living just outside Chicago City with a 5-year-old son. And it was a lot. And I remember going from that environment, which was chaos, a lot of drama, a lot of yelling at each other, a lot of, family drama, teenage girl drama, and then a 5-year-old in the mix. Going from that environment, and I remember leaving there and arriving in Washington, in Bellingham. Guruji was going there to inaugurate a temple, and sitting there, and then all of a sudden was just completely different, completely opposite, right? Was sitting in a temple, was quiet, was calm. People were meditating. I was like, man, this is interesting. It's always funny when you come from one place and you go to another. I feel often that way, like when I visit my family, like nobody has any idea where you've just been, what you've just been through. But now, all of a sudden, you're there. So that's the situation. We arrive there. There's this temple. Again, keep in mind that I don't know anything, about Hinduism. There are these statues there. Something's going to happen. I don't know. Guruji's inaugurated. I don't know anything. I don't know what anything means. I'm just a 19-year-old on my way to pursue a career, hopefully, in cinematography. Like, my plan was to go. I was just coming back from a 4-month trip. My plan was to go to Vancouver and start working. So it was like a little detour for me, okay? But all of a sudden, I'm in this place. surrounded by weird people, doing weird things. But it was very nice. It was very nice. And so I arrived a few days before Guruji. Before Guruji arrived, was a whole thing. It was really amazing. Was not how I expected, you know. At the time, I remember when he arrived at the airport, he was in just like normal clothes, and everyone was like all, you know, after we greeted him, everything, then we were all just kind of standing at the baggage claim. And it's like everybody's quiet, and so after everything, it's like, okay, now we're all just standing around waiting for his bag, and it's like, and he's just like, Americans always this quiet? And so he was just very charming and funny and sweet, and not like, you know, how I imagined an Indian guru was supposed to be. So there's that. Then one day is scheduled a satsang at a nice hall. And so we go there. Guruji's giving satsang. It was the first satsang I ever heard. I was tasked at the time. Again, this is before I even knew anybody. I remember thinking I just got an email and they were like, oh, you're into like photography, right? I'd actually just bought a camera. They're like, oh, like take pictures. And I was like, okay. So I'm kind of like running around this hall trying to take pictures, but at the same time, I'm super new, you know, a little bit shy, awkward. And Guruji decides that he's going to give darshan. So it was not planned. So he decides that he's going to give darshan. And so the arrangements are made. And again, I have no idea what darshan is, like at all, I don't think. And I think for many of us, even for me still, it's a very intense, can be very intense, right? Especially going up, seeing him can be, a lot of nerves can come up, yeah? A lot of emotions or a lot of feelings, however. And so I was feeling that, and I wasn't even in line. I was still running around trying to take nice pictures. And I was kind of avoiding somehow. I was avoiding to go. I was avoiding to go. Then finally, darshan was nearing the end. And I remember very well, Kalpit, if you know, is one dear friend, the father of Swami Tulsidas, was assisting, yeah, who was helping. And so I was kind of avoiding, I was nearby, but I was taking photos, and like in a movie, I remember in slow motion, he was like, you're not getting away, it's your time now. And he like was like, now it's your time. And grabbed me and like pulled me. I remember just like in slow motion, super nervous. Like, I don't even know why. Even at the time, I was like, I don't even know why, but there's so many. It was very, super nervous. And it felt like it was all in like slow motion. I stood in front of him. For a few seconds, we looked at each other. It was normal. And then he changed. His face changed. His aura changed. I do not know how to describe it exactly, but he changed. And I saw Mahavatar Babaji. Then he changed again, and I saw Mahalakshmi. And then he changed again, and I saw Vishnu. Again, I don't really know how to explain it properly, but his face changed. He changed. And his aura, if you want to call it that, changed. And I saw. And again, at the time, I think I'd learned Atmakriya fairly recently, so I kind of knew who Mahavatar Babaji was. And when he changed, I remember thinking internally, that's Babaji. Somehow I knew. Then changed, I think I said, that's the Divine Mother. Somehow I knew about it, vaguely. And then the last one, I said, I think that's Vishnu, maybe it's Krishna, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. Somehow this was my internal monologue. And it's like you just accept. You can't even really process, right? What's happened. You know that it's like insane somehow. But yeah, that was my experience for my first darshan. So you can understand why I didn't want to share that story, especially for people who are about to receive their first darshan with Guruji. Because also at the time, this was my first darshan experience. I was like, I guess that's darshan. I guess that's what happens when you go for darshan. Everybody's experiencing something like that, right? I had no idea. It was my first one. But yeah, that's specifically on the online darshan why I don't want to share that story. Because also, funny enough, right? This was 10 years ago. We just had darshan. What day is it today? When was it? Yesterday? Saturday? When was it? Saturday? Yeah, thank you. We just had darshan, okay? And I was there in the front. I can say that didn't happen again. It has never happened again since. Not for a lack of trying to see it, but at dinner, Guruji said, you didn't come for darshan. Why didn't you come for darshan? I was like, Guruji, I was there. I was at the front. I was at the beginning with all the rishis. Oh, okay. Just to give you an example of the, from my first to many other darshans, right? Whenever I tell newcomers they're coming for darshan, don't have any expectations. So I don't expect, I don't. And it goes like, those are the extremes that I've experienced, right? Guruji not even remembering. Okay. He's like, there's many people. But was obviously thinking, but he thought that I wasn't there. So, okay. That's the story. Now there's a third time, maybe second, maybe third, that I've talked about it publicly. And yeah, like I said, it's to this day, it was a long time ago now. I'm 29 now, I was 19, it was my first darshan, was almost 10 years ago. It was a long time ago, but Guruji has manifested things in front of me, but somehow this is still, one of the most insane things. I literally saw this. He gave me this blessing that I was, that somehow was allowed to have that experience. And I remember afterwards, okay, so darshan is finished, we're back at the house. And Guruji is always so funny with these things because he'll do the most incredible things, and then we're just back at the house and he's like in his room, again, I've only known him for like a few days, but he's back in his room, he'll be on his phone. And he'll like, Guruji wants to talk to you. Go there, he's on his phone. How was darshan for you? Super casual. Like, okay, I'm just going to play it cool as well. Yeah, was that, I also wanted some confirmation what I had seen, who I had seen. So the first one was Babaji, and he nods maybe a little bit. The second one was the Divine Mother. And the last one, which by the way, the last was the most, again, words fail here, but was the most brilliant, was the most beautiful, somehow. I don't know how we can say, but yeah, was Vishnu or Krishna, I wasn't certain. So first one, Babaji, second one, Divine Mother. Second one, sorry, I don't know, was it Vishnu or Krishna? I don't know. He goes, they're the same. That was it. And then he said, what did they tell you? And I didn't hear anything. And he's like, that's okay. And so it's funny that these things can happen, that Guruji can do these things. And so many other miracles, things in our lives, people he's touched. But at the same time, when you spend time with him, or not, he very easily lets us be fooled by thinking that he's an ordinary human being, right? Like this verse says. At the end, this verse says, he appears and acts like an ordinary human being, accepting duties and obligations, seemingly like a conditioned soul. And it's always important for me to remind myself of who he really is. Because as much as it is difficult, because he pretends very, very, very well. He pretends so well that you have no choice but to see him as an ordinary human being. And it's important for us to remember also that he is that, but that he is so much more. Because it's not that he wants us to always perceive of him in that way, so to speak. You understand? He wants also that human relationship with us. He also wants to be a human. There's a reason that he does it also. It's not that he's just doing it for no reason, right? He's also acting in that way for a specific reason. But can get too far out of reach sometimes. Or we just forget. Human beings are like that. And so it reminded me of something else. So after this whole experience, I arrived in Germany a few months later. A lot of other small details there. I almost didn't arrive, even after all of this, right? I almost didn't come, then I came. Anyway, I ended up here in Germany. And I remember at the time I think he had just given commentary on the Guru Gita. And he's still somehow I have a memory of him in the light hall, and he was giving commentary still on the Guru Gita. And at the time, these scriptures, they kind of come in and out of, let's say, popularity within Bhakti Marga. As Guruji's giving commentary, of course, we're paying attention more and more and less to other things. And it's interesting to me now, because at the time, the Guru Gita was super, super important. He had just given commentary on it, and it was very important. It was very much in the forefront of people's minds at the time, 2015. And I had just arrived. And so I was learning about the Guru because people were talking about it and discussing it and giving lectures and things on it, and Guruji himself was talking about it. And I remember listening to him talk about giving his commentary on the Guru Gita and thinking, it's kind of weird that he's giving a commentary on the Guru Gita, but he's basically talking about himself. It's like if I was giving a discourse about Rishi Sambhava, right? Kind of almost like how great Rishi Sambhava is, or all the things that I do and who I am. It's super weird, right? Or it would be super weird. And at the time I felt similar. Because, okay, he's talking about the Guru Gita and he's talking about the role of the Guru. He's kind of talking about it in third person, but it's actually about him. It's 100% about him, obviously, right? And so I remember thinking that it's very strange. But I realized that actually he's the most qualified person to talk about the guru, to talk about himself, to talk about what a guru is. Like, who else can actually talk? Who else actually knows that knowledge that intimately? Who is that? Right? And so the only person, like the best person that you can listen to talk and give commentary on the Guru Gita is the Guru. Because he knows. Because as we'll discover also, and what I'm very excited about, is that again, after more than 10 years, he's giving commentary on the Guru Gita again. And we get to hear firsthand about the glories of the Guru, and we get to hear it from the most qualified person. And I hope this commentary that he gives for all of us will just be another reminder that he is who he is. He is glorious. And that he's not just an ordinary person, right? Although he appears and acts like, we have to remember that he is not. And I mean, also understand that how amazing, how inconceivably amazing he is. He didn't come here for no reason. He literally came here for you because your soul was longing to be with him, and he is longing to be with you. Literally. And so, one of the most beautiful things, I remember, I think it was the Narada Bhakti Sutras, I came to this realization that the only thing God wants to do is to worship and venerate his saints, the saints. When you read the stories and you hear about all of these leelas with the saints, God just wants to love them, venerate them, and uplift them, glorify them. And the only thing that the saints want to do, the only thing, is to glorify and uplift and sing the praises of God. And so that relationship is the most beautiful relationship that you can possibly imagine. When you really understand that, it's incredibly beautiful. And so I hope that this commentary that he will give will help us also to glorify him and love him more and more. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Shilatankana Kalaye
Ito Nisimho Parato Nisimho
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho
Ito Nisimho Parato Nisimho
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho
Yato Yato Yamitato Nisimho
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho
Yato Yato Yamitato Nisimho
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimho
Ahe Nisimho Hridaye Nisimho
Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho
Ahe Nisimho Hridaye Nisimho
Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho
Nisimhamadin Sharanam Prapaje
Narsimhamadin Sharanam Prapadye
Nisimhamadin Sharanam Prapaje
Narsimhamadin Sharanam Prapadye
Avakara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tano Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Amakara Kamala Vare
Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tano Bringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Avakara Kamala Varenaka Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tano Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Avakara Kamala Vare Adbhuta Singam
Dalita
Hiranyakashipu
Tano Bringam
Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Nisimhadev Jaya Nisimhadev Jaya Nisimhadev Jaya Nisimhadev
Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Bhakta Swarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, 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 Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda, 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 Bhajamana Krishna 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 Kaneya, 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 Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya, Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda, 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 Bhajamana Krishna 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 Kaneya, 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 Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Radhe Govinda, Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya
Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya
Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya
Bhajamana Krishna Kaneya
Oh Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda
Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda
Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda Bhajamana Radhe 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 Govinda Oh Bhajamana Krishna 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 Kaneya Bhajamana Krishna 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 Kaneya Oh Bhajamana Radhe Govinda 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 Shri Radha Krishna Lal ki Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me
Yatindraya Karuna Karaya Mangala Mangala me
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala me
Prapati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala me
Prapati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala me
O Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me
Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala me
Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala me
Tridanda Dharini Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala me
Tridanda Dharine Godagrajaya Mangala Mangala me
O Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me
Ranga Sakin Karyarataya Mangala Mangala me
Rangesha ke Karyarataya Mangala Mangala me
Mananataya Dharini Dharaya Mangala Mangala me
Mananataya Dharini Dharaya Mangala Mangala me
O Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala me Om Jaya Jagadisha Re Swami Jaya Jagadisha Re Bhaktajano ke sarkata dasajano ke sarkata jana me dura kare Om Jaya Jagadisha Re Jogya ve palapave dukha vinase manaka Swami dukha vinase manaka
Sukha Sampati Garave, Sukha Sampati Garave, Kastamite Tanaka, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Mata Pita Tuma Mere, Sharana Gahume Kisaki, Swami Sharana Gahume Kisaki, Tuma Bina Ora Na Duja, Tuma Bina Ora Na Duja, Asha Karume Kisaki, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tuma Purana Paramatma, Tuma Antarayami, Swami Tuma Antarayami, Para Brahma Parameshwar, Para Brahma Parameshwar, Tuma Sabake Swami, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tuma Karuna Ke Sagara, Tuma Palana Karata, Swami Tuma Palana Karata, Mere Sevaka Tuma Swami, Mere Sevaka Tuma Swami, Kripa Karo Bharata, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tuma Eka Gochara Sabake Pranapati, Swami Sabake Pranapati, Kisa Vidhi Milom Daya Maya, Kisa Vidhi Milom Kripa Maya, Tuma Kome Kumati, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Dina Bandhu Dukharta, Tumara Shaka Mere, Swami Tumara Shaka Mere, Karuna Hata Badao, Karuna Hata Badao, Karana Badate, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Vishaya Vikaya Mitao, Paparo Deva, Swami Paparo Deva, Shraddha Bhakti Badao, Shraddha Prema Badao, Santana Ki Seva, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Dana Mana Dana Sabha Entera, Swami Sabha Kucha Entera, Swami Sabha Kucha Entera, Tera Tuja Ko Arpan, Tera Tuja Ko Arpan, Jala Ke Mera, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Bhakt Janon ke Sankata, Das Janon ke Sankata, Chana mein dura kare, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Man chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji. Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji. Oh chakar rakho, chakar rakho, chakar rakho ji, chakar rakho, chakar rakho, chakar rakho ji. Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Shama mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji. Govinda mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari Lala chakar rakho ji. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva, Tvameva bandhu shasaka tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Govinda asato ma sagamaya, Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Prem se bolo Sri Lakshmana Bhagavan ki Jai. Sri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Mandir Bhagavan ki Jai. Prem se bolo Sri Radha Krishna Nilala ki Jai. Matar Kriya Babaji ki Jai. Ramanujacharya ki Jai. Prem se bolo Satguru Deva Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki
Jai. Om Krishna Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakarma Mantraya Tatantra Oshadasya Sastrani Samaraya Samaraya Vichoy Machai Machai. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasadarshanaaya Jikte Jvala Pritaya Savadi Shubha Om Pat Parasmaya Parabrahmane Param Jyotishe Swaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Shyam Venkataramana Govinda
Govinda.
Gopika Jivana Smaranam Govinda
Govinda.
Bhakta Vatsala Govinda
Govinda.
Govinda Govinda
Govinda.
Kundalika Varade
Hare
Eknath De
Tukara.
Garinath Maharaj ki
Jai.
Namasa Bhakta Mandali ki
Jai.
Alvari
Hare
Gurumanar
Brahmanar Tiruvarigaye.